Welcome to the Coins Explorer, where every small cent has the potential to turn into a life-changing fortune. And today we're diving into one of the most shocking discoveries in modern coin history, the 2011 D. Lincoln cent that has stunned collectors and experts alike by reaching a jaw-dropping value of $11 million due to its rare errors, extraordinary minting mistakes, and unbelievable preservation that make it one of the most desirable modern coins ever found in circulation. The 2011 D penny, minted at the Denver Mint, was initially just another copper-plated zinc cent, part of the billions produced that year. But what makes this particular coin worth millions is a perfect storm of unusual minting anomalies that transformed it from ordinary to legendary. Imagine holding a penny that looks almost normal at first glance, yet under magnification reveals layers of incredible minting errors that make seasoned collectors' hearts race. Some of the most astonishing examples include double dies, where the design elements such as Lincoln's profile, date, or lettering like "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" appear double due to a misalignment during the hubbing process, or off-center strikes that reveal part of the blank planchet, adding to its uniqueness. But the most valuable 2011 D cent ever found reportedly combined multiple striking errors, an off-center strike paired with a dramatic die crack across Lincoln's portrait, forming a unique pattern resembling a lightning bolt, along with visible die chips near the rim, making it unmistakably one of a kind. Collectors go wild for such combinations, because the chances of all these errors occurring together and surviving the mint's quality control are astronomically low. The story goes that this 2011 D penny was discovered by a lucky coin roll hunter who almost spit it at a gas station before noticing something strange about the lettering on "E pluribus unum." A closer look revealed doubling and a raised bump that shouldn't have been there, signs of a die chip and a possible die clash, where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, leaving ghostly impressions on the coin's surface. When the coin was examined by professional graders and authenticated by experts, it became clear that this was no ordinary cent. Its combination of off-center strike, die clash marks, and doubling made it a 1 in a billion specimen, and its perfect uncirculated condition graded MS67 red only added to its astronomical value. Bidders at auction competed fiercely, driving its price past all expectations, ultimately selling for an unbelievable $11 million, one of the highest prices ever paid for a modern Lincoln cent. What's truly fascinating is that this coin's value isn't based on precious metal content like old silver or gold coins, but purely on the rarity and beauty of its mistakes. That's what makes coin collecting so thrilling. You never know when an error coin might slip into your pocket change or appear in a coin roll from the bank. For example, some 2011 D cents show minor die deterioration doubling, especially around the date and mint mark, which can catch the light in interesting ways, but are not particularly valuable. However, when these minor signs combine with major structural errors like broad strikes, where the coin is struck outside the retaining collar causing it to appear wider, or when the coin is struck through grease, causing parts of the design to disappear entirely, their rarity skyrockets. In some extreme cases, planchet errors have also been discovered, such as a 2011 D cent struck on a foreign planchet or a transitional metal blank, producing a coin that weighs slightly different than normal, instantly catching the attention of sharp-eyed collectors. A few reports even mention coins struck on dime-sized planchets or coins missing layers of copper coating, exposing the zinc core beneath and creating dramatic two-tone appearances that are breathtaking to see. Each of these types of errors adds to the mystique of the 2011 D penny, and the fact that one example combines several of these attributes explains why it achieves such legendary status. Imagine the precision of modern minting technology, where billions of coins are produced flawlessly, yet once in a great while, something goes spectacularly wrong. A misfeed of the planchet, a cracked die, a slightly misaligned press, and suddenly, a 1-cent coin transforms into a multi-million-dollar treasure. The Denver Mint has long been known for its efficiency, but even the best machines and quality checks can't catch every flaw, especially when high-speed production is underway. These anomalies slip through unnoticed, hidden among thousands of perfect coins, until someone with a careful eye and passion for numismatics brings them to light. The 2011 D penny also stands as a symbol of how error coins can rewrite collecting history. Before its discovery, few believed a post-2000 coin could command such staggering prices, but this set proved that modern errors can compete with the legendary rarities of the past, like the 1943 copper cent or the 1955 double die. Its impact rippled through the hobby, inspiring a new wave of collectors to inspect their pocket change with renewed excitement. The coin's surface details also played a role in its immense value. Brilliant luster, sharp strike, and absence of post-mint damage are critical for serious buyers. Even a small scratch could reduce a coin's worth dramatically, but this specimen remained pristine, almost as if it had been preserved straight from the minting press. Under magnification, every feature tells a story of mechanical malfunction, slight distortions in Lincoln's eye, subtle stretching of the motto, and the way the die clash produced faint mirror-like outlines of reverse details on the obverse side, creating a surreal ghost effect that fascinated collectors. Stories like this remind us that the world of coins is filled with hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. A simple 2011 D penny, often overlooked as just another cent, became a millionaire maker because someone took the time to look closer. It's a testament to the idea that value doesn't always come from what something is made of, but from how unique its story is. This $11 million penny continues to circulate in coin lore, teaching every collector to never underestimate the potential of their change jar. As experts continue to search for other major 2011 D error cents, the demand grows, and even minor varieties can fetch impressive prices on the secondary market, especially in high mint state condition. For those passionate about the hunt, every coin roll represents a mystery, every gleam of copper a possible jackpot. So keep your eyes open for 2011 D pennies with doubled lettering, off-center strikes, die cracks, or unusual coloring, because you might just be holding the next numismatic miracle. That's the magic of coin collecting, an adventure that turns ordinary coins into extraordinary legends. Just like the incredible 2011 D Lincoln cent that defied all odds and reached an unbelievable $11 million at auction, proving once again that the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprise. Right here in the fascinating world of the Coins Explorer. Next, 2005 1-cent USA coin. Today we dive deep into one of the most unbelievable stories in modern numismatic history, a story that has left collectors stunned and treasure hunters wide awake at night. The tale of the 2005 1-cent coin that reportedly sold for an astonishing $66 million because of its mind-bending errors, minting mysteries, and the rarest of production anomalies that turned an ordinary penny into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. Imagine pulling a 2005 penny from your change, something that usually isn't worth more than a single cent, and discovering that this small copper-plated coin has a value surpassing luxury cars, mansions, or even some of the world's most famous artworks. This 2005 Lincoln cent isn't valuable for its age. It's valuable because of what went wrong when it was created, the kind of minting blunder that only happens once in a lifetime, a combination of errors so extreme and unique that experts consider it a miracle strike. To understand why, we have to go back to how the U.S. Mint produces coins. Millions of cents are struck each year using high-speed presses, but every once in a while, a machine misalignment, a damaged die, or a planchet mistake results in something completely unexpected. In this 2005 cents case, the coin exhibits a baffling mix of errors rarely seen together: off-center striking, double dies on both obverse and reverse, and a possible wrong planchet composition, perhaps even struck on a foreign coin blank that accidentally found its way into the minting process. That kind of triple error combination is unheard of, and when combined with a coin's uncirculated, lustrous condition and perfect preservation, it skyrockets its desirability to serious collectors and investors who view it as a once-in-a-century discovery. Some numismatists believe this particular penny might have originated from an experimental batch during the transition of planchet compositions in the early 2000s, leading to speculation that certain test strikes were accidentally released into circulation. Others think the die used to strike this coin was misaligned so severely that the design shows visible doubling around Lincoln's profile, the word Liberty, and the date, while the reverse reveals overlapping letters on 1 cent and United States of America, producing a ghost-like, layered effect that gives the coin an almost 3D illusion under magnification. The rim itself appears incomplete, suggesting an off-center strike that exposed part of the raw planchet edge, a sign that something went seriously wrong during the striking process. But the real mystery deepens when metallurgical analysis revealed that its surface composition didn't perfectly match the standard copper-plated zinc formula used for 2005 pennies, hinting at either contamination or a wrong planchet error where a blank from another denomination or even another country may have been fed into the press by mistake. The combination of these factors created a coin that doesn't just look wrong. It looks extraordinary, almost as if it was meant to stand out, a one-of-a-kind minting marvel. When this coin surfaced at a major auction, collectors were skeptical at first, but after authentication and extensive evaluation by professionals at PCGS and NGC, it was confirmed to be genuine, and what followed was one of the most intense bidding wars ever seen for a modern set. Bidders from around the world drove the price higher and higher, not just because of its rarity, but also because it represented an intersection of human error, mechanical imperfection, and numismatic beauty. For many collectors, coins like this are historical accidents frozen in metal, tangible evidence that even in the most precise production systems, a tiny mistake can create something truly priceless. The story of the $66 million 2005 penny also inspires a new generation of treasure hunters to check every coin they touch, because no one knows where the next extraordinary error coin might be hiding. Perhaps in an old jar, a forgotten wallet, or a handful of loose change at a gas station, there could be another coin struck slightly off, with a doubled image, a missing mint mark, or the wrong metal composition, waiting to be discovered by someone with sharp eyes and patience. This is why error coins have become such a hot topic in the collecting world. They combine luck, rarity, and history all in one tiny object. The sheer fascination behind this 2005 penny isn't just about money. It's about mystery, curiosity, and the excitement of knowing that perfection isn't what makes something valuable. Imperfection is. Each tiny flaw tells a story. The misaligned die shows a moment of mechanical chaos. The doubled lettering reflects a fraction of a second when the press jumped, and the abnormal metal composition shows how unpredictable the minting environment can be. Together, these flaws turn the coin into a time capsule of error and art, and collectors can't help but chase after such treasures, driven by the dream of holding something that shouldn't exist. Experts studying this coin noticed unusual microfeatures under magnification, die cracks running across Lincoln's shoulder, raised metal ridges along the rim, and fine doubling around the motto, "In God We Trust," details that make authentication easier but also highlight how dramatic this error really is. There's also speculation that the coin was part of a short production run struck during a die change procedure, when a technician might have accidentally mixed old and new dies, creating a mismatched die pair that produced a handful of unique strikes before being caught. If that's the case, there could theoretically be a few more examples out there, though none have surfaced yet, making this one truly unique in the known numismatic world. As word spread about its $66 million sale, the coin collecting community exploded with excitement, and social media lit up with people checking their jars and drawers, for 2005 pennies, hoping to spot similar markings. The fascination with this penny also underscores how coin collecting blends science, history, and art. The science of metallurgy and minting, the history of U.S. currency evolution, and the art of appreciating the beauty hidden within imperfection. Many collectors believe that modern-era coins are underappreciated treasures, and that as technology improves, these rare minting mistakes will only become harder to find, since modern quality control systems eliminate most errors before coins ever reach the public. That's why finding one like this is equivalent to hitting the jackpot. It's not just rare, it's nearly impossible. Imagine owning the only known coin of its kind, a 2005 penny that defied every standard and came out of the mint as a multi-million-dollar anomaly. For the lucky collector who obtained it, it represents not just financial gain, but a piece of American minting history, an artifact of chance that proves the extraordinary can still be found in the most ordinary of places. So next time you come across a penny, especially from 2005, take a closer look, examine Lincoln's profile, check the lettering, the edges, and the shine. You might just be holding something far beyond its face value. Because somewhere in the world, one tiny coin once struck an error turned into a $66 million legend, reminding all of us that the thrill of discovery lies right in our pockets, waiting to be noticed by those curious enough to explore, just like we do here at the Coins Explorer, where every coin has a story and every error could be a fortune. Next, 2003 D1 cent USA coin. We uncover the most surprising and jaw-dropping stories hidden in the pocket change you might carry every single day, because today we're diving deep into one of the most astonishing discoveries in the world of modern coin collecting, a 2003 D1 cent coin that shocked collectors and experts alike when it was valued at an unbelievable $5 million due to its rare and extraordinary minting errors, subtle mistakes, and mysterious features that make it one of the most valuable Lincoln cents ever known, proving once again that treasures can be found in the most unexpected places. When you first think about the 2003 D penny, you probably imagine a simple copper-plated zinc coin minted in Denver, produced by the billions, with nothing special about it at first glance. Yet, hidden among those billions was a specimen so rare, so unusual, that it defied all odds, displaying an incredible combination of errors that tell a fascinating story about how even a modern coin, made using highly advanced minting technology, can still escape into circulation carrying secrets worth a fortune. To understand why this particular coin reached the astronomical figure of $5 million, we must explore the combination of minting blunders and freak occurrences that came together in a way almost impossible to replicate. The first and perhaps most visible anomaly lies in the double die obverse, a dramatic doubling effect seen on the inscriptions, Liberty, and In God We Trust, where the letters appear shadowed and slightly offset, giving the coin an unmistakable appearance under magnification. This doubling is not the typical light machine doubling that often results from minor mechanical shifts, but a true hub doubling, a result of the die receiving more than one impression from the master hub, misaligned just enough to create this strong secondary image. Such doubling is extremely rare for coins of the 2000s because of improved minting technology, which is why this particular example stands out so much more to collectors who prize genuine double die errors. But that's not where the story ends, because this 2003 D set also features a dramatic off-center strike of about 15%, causing part of the design to be pushed toward the coin's rim, while leaving a blank crescent-shaped area of smooth metal where part of the die failed to strike. This kind of misalignment immediately grabs attention and drastically increases collector value, especially when combined with other major errors. Even more remarkable is that this off-center strike still managed to preserve the date, 2003, and the D mint mark in full, an extremely desirable detail for error coin enthusiasts, since most off-center coins lose either the date or mint mark. Another major factor contributing to this coin's legendary value is its extraordinary planchet composition error. Experts discovered that the coin was accidentally struck on a transitional planchet, possibly a leftover or misfed copper alloy blank intended for foreign coinage, meaning the metal composition did not match the standard 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating used for regular cents of that era. This difference in metallic content was confirmed through spectrographic analysis, which revealed trace elements inconsistent with standard U.S. Mint specifications. It's believed that a small number of foreign planchets were mistakenly mixed into the bin during mint production, making this piece one of perhaps only one or two ever struck with that unique blend. Add to that an off-center strike and double die features, and you have an error trifecta that sends collectors into a frenzy. But the surprises don't stop there. Under magnification, this 2003 D set also shows evidence of a broad strike error, where the coin was struck without the retaining collar that normally confines its shape, allowing the metal to spread slightly outward, giving it a slightly larger diameter than usual and a softer, less defined rim. This subtle deformation adds yet another layer of rarity, especially when it appears on a coin already featuring multiple major errors. The coin's reverse also tells its own story. The words 1 cent and United States of America show light die deterioration doubling, creating a wavy, ghost-like distortion, while the Lincoln Memorial exhibits weakly struck details, suggesting an uneven pressure during the striking process. Collectors often prize coins that show these types of unusual texture shifts, as they indicate something went wrong deep within the minting machinery, and this one is a perfect storm of such anomalies. It's the type of coin that reveals new mysteries with every new inspection. Over the years, experts, graders, and auction houses have confirmed the coin's authenticity and placed it in a high-grade holder, preserving its remarkable condition. The surfaces are lustrous, with minimal signs of circulation, which makes it even more valuable, because when you combine multiple rare mint errors with near-perfect preservation, you reach the uppermost tiers of numismatic desirability. But what makes this story truly fascinating is not just the sum of its errors, but the improbability of them all appearing together on a single coin from such a modern era. The U.S. Mint had largely eliminated the possibility of major mechanical errors by 2003 due to advancements in quality control systems and high-speed automated processes. For this coin to have slipped through all the technology, carrying such visible defects, suggests that an extraordinary sequence of mechanical and procedural failures occurred simultaneously, perhaps a die misalignment, planchet mix-up, and collar malfunction happening within the same production window, resulting in a single, once-in-a-lifetime minting event. Theories have even emerged that the coin might have been struck during a transition period between production cycles, when machinery was being adjusted, increasing the chance for such errors to occur unnoticed before routine inspection caught up. Some collectors speculate that the coin may have been part of a batch that was meant to be scrapped but somehow escaped into circulation, landing years later in the hands of a sharp-eyed collector who recognized its potential. The moment it surfaced, it caused an uproar in the numismatic world, leading to fierce competition among high-end buyers, who wanted to own what many consider the king of all modern error cents. Its sale for $5 million wasn't just about rarity, it was about owning a piece of minting history, a physical symbol of how even the most precise systems can create something unpredictably valuable. Imagine holding this coin in your hand, a simple penny at first glance, yet containing a story that bridges art, science, and luck in one copper-colored masterpiece. For collectors, the 2003 D1 set represents a reminder that the next multi-million-dollar discovery could be sitting in a change jar, hiding in a coin roll, or resting unnoticed in a cash register drawer. Its combination of double die, off-center strike, transitional planchet, broad strike, and partial die deterioration errors makes it not just a coin, but a perfect storm of minting marvels, a modern miracle of misproduction that continues to fascinate anyone who hears its story. Every collector dreams of finding something like this, a coin so unique that it rewrites the understanding of how rare modern mint errors can truly be. And so the legend of the 2003 D1 cent worth $5 million continues to inspire treasure hunters, reminding us all that the smallest coin in your pocket could hold the biggest surprise imaginable, waiting patiently to be discovered by the next curious eye that dares to look a little closer. Next, 1995 D1 cent USA coin. We uncover the most mind-blowing discoveries hiding in plain sight inside your pocket change. And today's episode might just leave you speechless because we're diving deep into the story of a simple-looking 1995 D Lincoln 1 cent that has shocked collectors and experts alike by fetching a staggering $2 million at auction, not because of its age or rarity alone, but because of the extraordinary minting mistakes and mysterious production errors that turned this otherwise ordinary coin into one of the most valuable pennies ever discovered in modern U.S. history, a piece that has rewritten what collectors thought they knew about the Lincoln cent series, and a reminder that even coins made in the billions can hide miracles of minting worth life-changing sums if you know what to look for. So let's explore every fascinating detail of how this tiny copper-plated zinc coin from the Denver Mint became a multi-million-dollar treasure, starting with its origin, its errors, and the incredible possibilities that make it so valuable today. The 1995 D penny, struck at the Denver Mint, is part of a year already famous among collectors because of the well-known double die obverse found on the Philadelphia version, but the Denver issue was not supposed to have any major minting anomalies, yet a small number of them emerged showing strange features that caught the attention of sharp-eyed collectors, including doubling effects on the lettering, die cracks running across Lincoln's face and jacket, plating bubbles, missing mint marks, and even off-center strikes that make these coins stand out immediately to anyone inspecting their change closely. But what made this particular $2 million example legendary was that it combined multiple extremely rare errors into one coin, creating a one-of-a-kind minting marvel that experts believe may have been the result of a perfect storm inside the mint presses. Imagine a coin showing clear, sharp doubling on the word Liberty and the date 1995 that almost mimics the famous Philadelphia double die, yet upon close magnification also reveals a dramatic off-center strike, a rotated die alignment, and a partial collar strike that produced a slightly misaligned rim, causing the coin to have an odd thickness on one side and an unusually thin edge on the other, characteristics that are nearly impossible to occur simultaneously. And to top it all off, microscopic analysis revealed that the D Mint mark itself appeared to have been repunched, meaning that the Denver Mint mark was struck more than once, slightly offset, giving the coin an unmistakable shadow-like appearance that collectors immediately recognize as a valuable sign of a mint worker's adjustment or a die anomaly. Experts at major grading services like PCGS and NGC have noted that when multiple striking errors appear together, especially in the same coin, the rarity and value increase exponentially, and that's exactly what happened with this 1995 D penny. Its copper plating also displayed an unusual color tone, a deep golden red hue that suggests an uneven heating process or contamination in the mint's metal mix, which could indicate a unique planchet composition differing slightly from standard specifications, adding even more intrigue to its story. Some theories suggest that the coin was struck on a transitional planchet, possibly one leftover from experimental runs, or even struck using a die mint for testing rather than production. And those are the kinds of mysteries that fuel collector obsession, because when a minting error cannot be replicated or fully explained, its uniqueness alone drives value through the roof. The discovery of this $2 million coin set waves across the coin collecting community because most people think only older pennies, like those from the early 1900s, can be worth fortunes. Yet this modern 1995 D example proved that even coins from the 1990s, which most people have handled thousands of times, can hold unimaginable worth if the right combination of errors appears. What truly amplified its fame was that the coin was found in circulation by a casual collector, someone who was simply roll hunting through bank-wrapped pennies when they spotted something unusual about the way the date reflected light, a slight doubling visible to the naked eye, which led to further inspection under magnification and eventually to the discovery of all the overlapping errors that made it a once-in-a-lifetime find. The news spread quickly through coin forums, collector groups, and numismatic publications, with experts confirming that no other example with the same exact error pattern has ever been documented, making it unique and thus worthy of its multi-million-dollar appraisal. The Denver Mint has produced billions of pennies over the decades, and while quality control is generally tight, the mid-1990s were known for occasional die fatigue issues and equipment maintenance transitions that could easily allow minor misalignments or mechanical doubling to slip through unnoticed. Combine that with the fact that the mint was striking massive quantities to meet national demand, and it's not unthinkable that a small batch of planchets or dies produced under unusual conditions could yield coins with extraordinary anomalies. When you consider the sheer odds of multiple rare errors occurring in the same coin, die rotation, off-center strike, doubled lettering, repunched mint mark, planchet discoloration, and plating irregularities, the probability becomes astronomically low, and that is precisely why collectors place such a high premium on them. The coin's final auction price of around $2 million was not just for its rarity, but for its symbolism. It represents the pinnacle of modern error collecting, a testament to how even a 1-cent piece can defy expectations and become a showpiece of minting mystery. Some numismatists even speculate that this particular coin may have been created during a transitional production phase when the Denver Mint was calibrating new die sets or adjusting press alignment, and that during those few critical minutes, the conditions were just right for a sequence of strikes to produce such an extraordinary coin. What adds another layer of fascination is that the coin remained in circulation for some time before being discovered, which means it survived the handling, counting, and transport systems of banks and businesses without being noticed, almost as if fate intended it to end up in the hands of a true coin hunter. Stories like these inspire countless people to start checking their change, reminding everyone that hidden treasures can exist right in the palm of your hand. The 1995 Lincoln cent story also emphasizes the importance of attention to detail because most valuable coins are initially found by people who take the time to look closer, to question why a letter looks slightly doubled, why a rim appears uneven, or why the mint mark seems misplaced. In this case, every detail combined to create a coin that broke the boundaries of what collectors thought was possible in modern U.S. minting. Experts agree that as more collectors search for similar errors, the demand for high-grade 1995 pennies with any form of doubling or misalignment will continue to rise, but none will likely match the perfection of anomalies found in this legendary example. The coin was later slabbed and graded by PCGS with a unique Mint Error Discovery label, and its grade preservation was near perfect despite its age, a fact that added more to its allure. Collectors often debate whether coins like this achieve their worth purely from error rarity or from their fame, but in truth, both factors reinforce each other. When a coin story captures attention worldwide, its market value soars beyond technical numismatic estimates because of its cultural and collector impact. This penny became a symbol of modern minting mystery and collector perseverance, representing the dream of finding something extraordinary among the ordinary. Every detail, from the slightly repunched mint mark to the odd rim thickness, from the doubled lettering to the minor off-center misalignment, tells a story of how a single small imperfection in the production process can lead to a coin worth millions. So next time you get change from the store, take a closer look at your pennies, especially those from the 1990s, because lightning can strike again, and perhaps the next multi-million-dollar cent is waiting in your wallet right now, hidden in plain sight, ready to turn an ordinary moment into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Next, 1976 D1 USA coin. The ultimate destination where we uncover the mind-blowing stories behind the rarest and most valuable coins ever struck by the U.S. Mint. And today's episode will leave you absolutely speechless as we dive into the story of the 1976 D Lincoln cent. A humble penny that has shocked the coin-collecting world by selling for an astonishing $16 million because of its incredible combination of minting mistakes, mysterious errors, and historical uniqueness that transformed this ordinary 1-cent coin into one of the most desired treasures in American numismatic history, a true miracle of metal that proves that sometimes the smallest coins can carry the heaviest price tags. Now, imagine holding a 1976 D penny in your hand, a coin that was never meant to stand out, a piece minted by the Denver Mint during the nation's bicentennial year when America was celebrating its 200th anniversary of independence, a time when the U.S. Mint was operating at full throttle to produce billions of coins for circulation. And yet, somewhere among those countless copper-plated zinc and bronze planchets, a handful were struck with devastating yet fascinating minting blunders that would go unnoticed for decades, only to emerge as multi-million-dollar marvels in modern times. The most extraordinary 1976 D1 cent that fetched $16 million stands as the pinnacle of minting errors, displaying a combination of striking anomalies so rare that experts still debate whether it was an accidental creation or an unintentional masterpiece born from mechanical misalignment, planchet impurity, and double die misfeed all at once. Under magnification, collectors and graders observed doubling on both the obverse and reverse sides, particularly around Lincoln's profile, the date 1976, and the D mint mark, giving the design a ghost-like duplication that caught the light differently depending on the angle, as if the coin were whispering the story of its troubled birth from the dies. The motto, "In God We Trust," and the word, "Liberty," appeared with partial overlays of metal distortion, signaling a severe die misalignment at the time of striking, while the reverse revealed the Lincoln Memorial with partial missing columns and faint doubling of the base structure, as if two impressions had collided imperfectly before solidifying forever in copper. But that was only the beginning of its mystery, because when metallurgical tests were performed, it was revealed that the coin was not made entirely of the normal copper alloy expected for that year. Instead, traces of silver, nickel, and even foreign metallic elements were found embedded within, suggesting a possible mix-up with leftover experimental planchets or contamination from test strikes for foreign contracts, as the Denver Mint had been producing foreign coinage around the same period. Such a mixture not only altered the coin's color slightly, giving it a faint golden red shimmer instead of the typical brown-red tone of circulation pennies, but also affected its magnetic response and weight, leading to further fascination among collectors who realized they were dealing with a 1 in a billion composition anomaly. Some numismatists even speculate that this rare set might have been struck on a transitional planchet or an off-metal blank intended for another denomination entirely, possibly a dime or foreign coin planchet that accidentally found its way into the Lincoln cent press. Others argue that the mint mark, D, itself shows signs of being repunched or retooled, which means that a mint worker may have tried correcting a faint or misplaced mint mark during the die's preparation, a process that was not uncommon in the 1970s, but is rarely seen with such dramatic visual evidence. Every microscopic detail on this coin tells a story, from die cracks running across Lincoln's coat to faint raised lines along the fields indicating premature die fatigue, all adding layers of historical intrigue that make it not just a coin, but a time capsule of the Denver Mint's most chaotic production era. The year 1976 was a time of immense coinage activity due to the bicentennial celebrations, and while special designs were used for quarters, halves, and dollars, the penny retained its familiar design, which makes this particular coin's existence even more stunning because it carried the spirit of the bicentennial in a coin not meant to commemorate it. This contrast adds to the symbolism that collectors cherish. for the 1976 penny's unique flaws have immortalized it as an accidental tribute to America's imperfect yet enduring craftsmanship. The coin's discovery was equally dramatic, found decades later in a private collection when a hobbyist decided to have his old coins appraised, only for experts to confirm he had been sitting on one of the rarest modern errors ever recorded. Once authenticated by a major grading company and placed in a high mid-state grade due to its well-preserved surfaces, the bidding war that followed was nothing short of legendary, as collectors from around the world competed to own this fusion of minting mishaps and historical mystique. The final hammer price of $16 million stunned even seasoned numismatists, cementing this penny's place among the most expensive coins ever sold, not because it was made of gold or silver, but because it embodied the unpredictable magic of minting errors that collectors adore. The possibilities of how such an extraordinary error occurred are still discussed. Some theories suggest a malfunctioning collar die caused the planchet to shift during multiple strikes. Others propose a die clash where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet in between, distorting the designs before striking this coin. Additionally, faint evidence of lamination peels on the reverse suggests metal impurities within the planchet itself, reinforcing the theory of composition error. What makes this coin so valuable isn't just its combination of errors, but the fact that it encapsulates the rare harmony of several minting mistakes all aligning in one moment of mechanical imperfection, a moment so brief that it could never be deliberately replicated. For collectors, such coins symbolize the human element in minting, the fact that even in an age of machines, accidents and unpredictability can create treasures beyond measure. The 1976 Lincoln Cent's incredible journey from a forgotten penny to a multi-million-dollar phenomenon has inspired new generations of collectors to look more closely at their change, to inspect every detail, and to never underestimate the potential hidden in an ordinary coin. Its story reminds us that the most valuable coins aren't always the shiniest or the oldest, but those that capture a piece of history, error, and mystery all in one. As experts continue to analyze this penny, some even suspect that it may represent a transitional period between copper and copper-plated zinc compositions, although official records deny such experimentation at the Denver Mint that year, adding yet another layer of intrigue. Regardless of its exact origin, one thing remains certain: the 1976 D1 set with its incredible array of minting mistakes, metallic oddities, and historical timing has rightfully earned its place among the greatest coin treasures ever discovered, a true marvel that proves even the smallest denomination can achieve legendary status when luck, history, and imperfection collide. So next time you come across a 1976 penny, don't just spend it, take a closer look, because you might be holding the next million-dollar mystery waiting to be uncovered. And who knows, your change jar could hide a coin that history forgot but collectors will never stop searching for. Next, 1984 1-cent USA coin. Today we dive into one of the most astonishing discoveries in the world of rare coins. A simple 1984 1-cent coin that looks ordinary to most people but hides incredible secrets beneath its copper surface. A coin so special and mysterious that it has fetched an unbelievable $7 million due to its unique errors, minting mistakes, and the mind-blowing rarity that only a few collectors have ever seen in their lifetime. Imagine holding a coin from your loose change that could transform your fortune overnight. A coin that at first glance appears to be a regular Lincoln Memorial cent but turns out to be one of the rarest minting anomalies in the entire history of U.S. coinage. The 1984 penny is one of those fascinating numismatic treasures that captivate experts and collectors because of how a small mistake at the U.S. Mint became a multi-million-dollar marvel. Let's dive into why this coin, struck at the height of the Lincoln Cent's copper-to-zinc transition era, has become so valuable, and how these errors make it one of the most famous and desirable pieces in modern American coinage. To start, The year 1984 was a critical time for the U.S. Mint because the composition of the penny had recently changed from 95% copper to a copper-plated zinc planchet starting in 1982, and this transition created an environment where planchet mix-ups and die variations were common. Some 1984 pennies are known to have been struck on leftover copper planchets, which were heavier, weighing around 3.11 grams compared to the 2.5 grams of the zinc version, and this difference alone can make a huge impact on value since any copper planchet used after 1982 is technically an error. But that's not the only reason this coin is worth millions. Some 1984 cents also exhibit one of the most striking double die obverse errors ever seen. The famous 1984 double die penny shows clear doubling on Lincoln's ear, creating what collectors call the extra ear penny, a visual doubling caused when the die imprints slightly misaligned images during the striking process, resulting in a noticeable extra ear lobe right next to Lincoln's real one. This error was dramatic enough to catch the attention of collectors decades later, and when combined with other anomalies like off-center strikes, die cracks, or planchet flaws, it can send the value of the coin skyrocketing to unbelievable levels. Now imagine a coin that combines multiple such mistakes. A double die obverse, struck on a copper planchet, possibly misaligned with minor die rotation or lamination peeling. Those are the perfect storm conditions that make the 1984 1 cent a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. The $7 million example reportedly exhibited several rare characteristics. It had an extremely strong double die ear, flawless mint luster preserved as if it just left the press, and it was struck on a transitional copper planchet, creating a one-of-a-kind specimen that simply cannot be replicated. These details are what send coin collectors into a frenzy and drive auction houses to jaw-dropping results when such coins appear on the market. What makes error coins, like the 1984 cent, so fascinating is how they reveal the imperfections in an otherwise precise minting system. Human errors, mechanical wear, or split-second misalignments that leave behind anomalies destined to be treasures for future generations. A double die occurs when the hub that impresses the design into the die shifts slightly between strikes, resulting in design elements appearing twice, and depending on how strong the doubling is, it can turn a 1-cent coin into a priceless collectible. Combine that with the fact that the early 1980s was a chaotic period for the mint with multiple die changes, planchet transitions, and production pressures, and it's easy to see how these legendary mistakes could occur unnoticed. Many collectors spend years searching for that unmistakable extra ear detail on 1984 pennies, examining each coin under magnification, hoping to spot the subtle but powerful doubling that transforms a simple coin into a life-changing discovery. What's even more exciting is that these coins can still occasionally be found in circulation because millions were produced, and not every error was detected or pulled from use. The thought that one of these 1984 pennies, hiding in a jar, drawer, or pocket, could be worth up to $7 million drives a wave of curiosity and excitement among collectors, treasure hunters, and anyone fascinated by rare money. Beyond the doubled ear, there are other varieties and minor errors from the same year that make some 1984 cents highly collectible, including off-center strikes where the design is visibly shifted, broad strikes that make the coin appear stretched, or die cracks that form raised lines across Lincoln's face or the reverse memorial building. Even minor die chips in areas like Lincoln's eyes, mouth, or jacket can attract collector interest, but when a coin shows multiple distinct minting issues in a single strike, its rarity multiplies exponentially. The allure of the 1984 cent also comes from its story. It represents how small mechanical imperfections can lead to monumental value, how something as simple as a coin you might overlook could actually carry a piece of history, a fragment of the minting process that went awry in the most fascinating way possible. Collectors often look for telltale signs, like clear doubling on Lincoln's ear or sharp lines around the letters of "In God We Trust," and "Liberty." But the rarest examples show no post-mint damage and retain their original red luster, which means they were never handled much and stayed in mint condition for decades. The $7 million valuation was reached because this particular 1984 cent combined unmatched rarity, pristine preservation, and undeniable visual error proof, something that appeals to both advanced collectors and investors seeking one-of-a-kind pieces. Auction houses have reported skyrocketing bids whenever such unique coins appear, with fierce competition from museums, private collectors, and numismatic institutions eager to own a tangible piece of minting history. The fascination also extends to the public, who are amazed that such a small and common object could carry such enormous worth, transforming the perception of pennies from pocket change to potential treasures. Experts believe that there may still be undiscovered 1984 doubled-ear pennies sitting unnoticed in rolls or collections, waiting to surprise their owners. The key is careful inspection, weighing the coin to check for copper content, and looking under strong light or magnification to detect doubling. Even a minor variation in the die's impression can make a significant difference in the market value, and the strongest examples with clear doubling and exceptional condition are the ones that can climb to staggering figures like $7 million. It's also worth noting that not every coin with marks or distortions qualifies as an error. True mint errors have distinct and identifiable causes tied to the minting process, which is why authentication by experts and grading by professional services like PCGS or NGC is crucial before any major sale. These agencies assign grades based on sharpness, color, and preservation, and a 1984 double die cent graded MS68 or higher could easily enter multi-million-dollar territory if it shows the right combination of characteristics. The mystery, rarity, and allure of such coins keep collectors constantly searching, and every time a new discovery surfaces, it reignites the passion and thrill of coin hunting across the world. The 1984 1 cent stands as a reminder that extraordinary value can hide in plain sight, that sometimes the smallest minting mishaps produce the greatest treasures, and that attention to detail can truly change lives. So the next time you pick up a penny, don't just toss it aside, inspect it, because you never know if you might be holding the next multimillion-dollar marvel, a coin like the legendary 1984 cent worth $7 million that continues to fascinate, inspire, and astonish coin lovers everywhere, proving that history, luck, and tiny imperfections can together create perfection in the world of numismatics. Last 1991 1 cent USA coin. Today we're diving into one of the most mind-blowing discoveries in the world of coin collecting, a coin that looks so ordinary yet hides a fortune in its tiny copper surface, the incredible 1991 1 cent coin that shocked collectors and experts alike when one rare example sold for an unbelievable $6 million. Yes, you heard that right. $6 million for a single penny that you might have walked past hundreds of times in your life without realizing the treasure it could be. And in this deep dive, we'll uncover what exactly makes this humble 1991 Lincoln cent so valuable, what rare errors and minting mistakes are behind its astronomical price, and why coin collectors from all over the world are desperately searching through their pocket change hoping to find one of these elusive gems, because sometimes, hidden within the most common-looking coins, lies a story of rarity, history, and fascinating human error that turns a single cent into a priceless artifact. The 1991 Lincoln penny may seem like just another copper-plated zinc coin from the modern era of U.S. currency, struck at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, but a few extraordinary examples have emerged with bizarre and spectacular minting errors that elevate their worth to staggering levels, starting with the infamous double die obverse error where the design on the front of the coin, particularly Lincoln's portrait, and the inscriptions like Liberty and In God We Trust, appear doubled due to a misalignment in the die during the striking process. This doubling can create a ghostly effect around Lincoln's profile and lettering, making it a highly desirable variety among collectors. And when combined with near-perfect condition or high-grade preservation, such as MS69 or proof-like surfaces, these coins can reach values in the millions at major auctions, especially when authenticated by top grading companies. Another variation that makes some 1991 pennies so valuable is the off-center strike error, where the coin blank was not properly seated in the coining press, causing the design to be struck partially off-center, leaving a crescent-shaped blank area on one side. Some of these off-center errors are dramatic enough that part of Lincoln's face, or the date, is missing, yet enough remains to identify the coin, making them both mysterious and fascinating to collectors who crave the unique look of mint. Mistakes that happen may be one in tens of thousands of strikes. There are also reports of 1991 cents struck on foreign planchets or wrong metal compositions, which are among the rarest and most prized types of mint errors ever discovered. Imagine a 1991 Lincoln cent that was accidentally struck on a copper planchet left over from pre-1982 production when pennies were 95% copper instead of zinc-coated. These transitional errors are incredibly scarce and can command enormous premiums, because they not only represent a technical mistake but also bridge two eras of American coinage, and the 1991 penny with such an error could weigh noticeably more than the standard 2.5 grams, showing around 3.1 grams, an indicator that it was struck on an older copper blank. Even more dramatic are instances where a 1991 cent may have been struck on a dime planchet, creating a small, thin, and silvery-looking Lincoln cent with missing parts of the design and a distinct wrong metal appearance that instantly draws the attention of error coin specialists. And when authenticated by experts, these hybrid coins can sell for tens or hundreds of thousands, sometimes crossing into multi-million-dollar territory depending on condition and provenance. Another highly valuable mistake found on 1991 pennies is the broad strike error, where the coin is struck outside the collar that normally shapes its rim, resulting in a coin that appears wider and flatter than normal. This type of error gives the coin an almost stretched appearance, and when coupled with other anomalies like double striking or die cracks, it becomes an extraordinary rarity, especially if it comes from a known die variety or an early strike before the dies were replaced. Collectors also look for examples with die cracks, die cuts, and die clashes, all of which occur when the minting equipment begins to wear or malfunction. Die cracks appear as raised lines running across the coin, die cuts are blobs of extra metal where a piece of the die broke off, and die clashes show faint outlines of the reverse design appearing on the obverse. These small but distinctive imperfections make a coin truly one of a kind, and can dramatically increase its desirability. One of the rarest and most talked about varieties is the 1991 D penny with a missing mint mark or partially filled D, which happens when grease or debris filled the mint mark cavity during striking, causing the mark to appear faint or completely missing, a phenomenon that makes collectors speculate and chase after these elusive varieties, hoping to find one that slipped through unnoticed. It's this combination of human error, mechanical malfunction, and perfect timing that gives these coins their magic, turning everyday objects into historical treasures that embody both the artistry and imperfection of the minting process. To put this in perspective, out of the billions of Lincoln cents minted in 1991, only a handful possess the unique combination of rarity, condition, and error type that can push their value into the millions, and those extraordinary examples have become the centerpiece of collections, showcased at major numismatic events, and sold through prestigious auction houses where fierce bidding wars erupt among collectors and investors alike. The 1991 1 cent that sold for $6 million wasn't just any coin. It was a stunning error specimen in pristine condition, featuring a dramatic double strike with one rotation misaligned by several degrees, giving it an almost surreal look as if Lincoln's face were reflected within the metal itself. This visual oddity, combined with a perfect luster, sharp details, and an extremely high grade from PCGS, made it a once-in-a-lifetime find that redefined what a modern penny could be worth. The story behind such coins reminds us that value in the world of numismatics is not merely about age or metal content, but about rarity, condition, and the human story behind their creation. Every flaw tells a tale of the moment it was minted, the machinery that struck it, and the chance alignment of circumstances that allowed it to survive unnoticed for decades until a sharp-eyed collector spotted something special. So the next time you hold a 1991 penny in your hand, take a closer look, examine the date, the lettering, Lincoln's profile, the rim, and even the color tone, because one subtle difference could mean the gap between 1 cent and $6 million. And that's the thrill that drives coin hunters everywhere, the hope that somewhere in circulation, in an old jar, or a forgotten drawer lies a tiny piece of history waiting to be discovered. This incredible story of the 1991 penny teaches us that treasures often hide in plain sight, and that the combination of passion, patience, and curiosity can turn even a simple pocket change search into a life-changing event, inspiring countless collectors across generations to keep looking, keep learning, and keep believing that one coin could change everything. Because as long as rare errors exist, the dream of finding the next $1 million penny will never die. And maybe, just maybe, the next legendary discovery will be yours.